Welcome to Popcorn History with the Freeborn County Historical Museum, Library, and Village. This is Stephanie Kibler, Executive Director at the museum, along with Risha Lilienthal, Coordinator of Collections and Exhibits, and Reggie Bauer, all what do I want to say?
Operations Manager.
Well, I was going to try to give him a big old title, with Power 96.
The great and powerful.
He's there, yes. Reggie Bauer. Today we're going to be, what did you say you were going to title this one?
What's on Wheels?
What's on Wheels?
Or what's on Wheels?
What on Wheels?
What's on second?
No, that's, who's on second? No, who's on first?
Who's on first? What's on second?
I don't know who's on third.
It's not like whatever.
No, I don't know who's on third.
Whoever's on third.
It's I don't know. I don't know who's on third.
Anyway.
Now that we've done was that a Marx Brothers skit?
No, that's Abbott and Costello.
Abbott and Costello, yeah. So I did a little flashback as we were starting to talk about this, and I'm not even sure how this came up, but the bookmobile was mentioned.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Reggie, you knew what the bookmobile was.
Yeah,
but I don't know, you didn't.
I didn't know.
I didn't go to school in Albert Lee growing up, so maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. The bookmobile started in 1972, so I would have been 9 years old.
Sure.
And I, honest to God, can remember the first day it pulled into town.
Huh.
We were lined up. It was like, what's that song? Anticipation.
Oh, I was thinking of the Wells Fargo wagon. From Music Man.
It wasn't that far back.
I'm trying to get to bookmobile to Wells Fargo wagon.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon.
They were all lined up too, weren't they? Yes. Yeah. Okay, caught up now. But so for those of you who don't know, a bookmobile was a library on wheels.
Yeah.
Was for kids and adults, and it came through, I think it probably spent about an hour in each location. Wow. It was a joint venture for the Southeast Libraries Cooperating, Selco, which Selco just recently visited us at the museum and did a
rental.
No, they did the video.
Oh, no, you're right.
A little library video for us, showing off kind of what we had done during the COVID days.
Sure.
So I hadn't realized that they were part of the bookmobile. That was their deal. It was made possible, the bookmobile was made possible through a multi-county cooperative program. So Dodge County, Freeborn County, Steele County, and it visited Clarks Grove, Hollandale, Heartland, Freeborn, Manchester, Alden, Emmons, Twin Lakes, Glenville, Myrtle, Hayward, Oakland, Owatonna, Ellendale, Little Missile, Geneva. I mean, it went all over. It spent 4 days every 2 weeks traveling to deliver books to the community.
Oh, wow. Okay, I feel like I have so many questions.
Well, maybe we can get to those.
Okay.
What's really cool, and I'd forgotten this, you had to have a library card. So my very first library card was with the bookmobile.
Oh, my gosh.
Which was good at any public library in those counties. So we could go anywhere and then check out books with our bookmobile card.
That's cool.
Right? So what are your questions?
Okay.
You're like stammering.
I know. I'm like, what? Okay, so this bookmobile would come and you could just go, you would pick a book.
So you go in the front door, and if you had books to return, you'd return them at the little front door desk, and then you'd go in, and the whole mobile was lined with library shelves.
You would walk in?
Yeah.
So you'd walk in, you'd pick your book, and then you'd go to the back of the bus to check it out and exit the back of the bus.
And were they organized?
Yeah.
Like by genre and author?
Yes.
And oh my gosh. Okay. So you would get your book and you would have it and you would read it. You would return whenever they came?
They came back 2 weeks later, you'd return your book.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I thought this was kind of cute because they were talking here about two little girls that had gone to get their books. There was some difficulty with their cards, but it got settled. And they went off triumphantly carrying Jonah and the Lord and Make Way for Ducklings.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know. I thought that was funny, but I found
cute.
that one
It's
really,
cute.
really kind of cute and funny. So the bookmobile was driven by two women from Owatonna, actually, a Colleen Estrom and a Mrs. Herzog.
Okay. So were they employed or were they volunteering to do this?
I don't know that it actually says. I wonder if they weren't hired, though, by Selco, because you would think once you got the books returned, this would be a time-consuming
Right.
Yeah.
volunteer effort if
This
you
isn't
weren't.
something you just randomly one day up and, I'm going to go drive a bus full of books around.
Right, yeah, you
unless
can't
they
just
were
hop
retired.
in.
Just for funsies.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I don't know if they were hired or not.
I mean, I'm sure some people do have that level of goodness in their hearts, but to do that consistently over however long this was going on.
So you're talking 4 days out on the road.
Right.
Well, and then I'm going to guess the next week you're restocking, you're making sure all the returns
Inventory.
Probably swap books out so you don't have the same books.
Yeah. And for how many years?
Well, I can't answer that exactly, and it was still running in 1977, so at least 5 years
Sure.
that they.
That's pretty good.
I know.
Yeah.
And I vaguely remember when it stopped. Oh, and this is cool. So if you go into Hope, Minnesota, which is, just a
Yep.
little ways north of here, there is actually an old bookmobile
Really?
sitting by a garage
What?
across from Hope Creamery.
Huh.
So you can go, at least it was there a couple years ago. I'm not sure it's still there,
Oh.
but you can drive by and you can actually see what the bookmobile really looked like. I got really excited when I saw
I was
that.
kind of curious about because the one that I saw, let's see, this would have been probably 2001 or 2 or 3 or so, the one that I remember going to. It wouldn't have been like they didn't repurpose a school bus. I think it was built specifically to function as a bookmobile.
Ooh.
Were the ones back then built specifically for that, or did they look like they might have been like a school bus?
It was
repurposed?
more of a oh gosh, like a UPS truck kind of thing. It was
Okay,
more like
sure.
that
Oh, okay.
than it was a bus.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I could see that.
maybe a little longer
Yeah.
than a UPS truck. Although I was littler.
Right,
So
yeah.
maybe it just
Everything's
seems
bigger at that age.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. I remember the step was a big step. Yeah. So anyway, I'm not even sure how I got on the topic of the bookmobile, but it brought back a whole bunch of memories.
Yeah.
And it's such a cool piece of, I'm going to call it fairly current history,
Yeah, that's fair.
just because
Sure.
it's me.
Yeah.
So it's super fun.
Yeah, and when you were talking about it being bookmobile,
Bookmobile.
Do you think she needs to be smacked? She's
I need
like,
to be
stuck,
reset,
stuck.
hit me. Okay.
Where's the reset button?
But then I thought about a kind of, I don't know, business service thing that our librarian Linda had mentioned at one point, and it kind of filed away in my Rolex, I guess. And it was the traveling dentist that was around Freeborn County.
See, to me, that's crazy.
Isn't that?
Like
Yeah.
the dentist pulls up in your driveway.
Well, not quite, but maybe currently some of them could have. But it was a Dr. Freeman L. Blunt was his name. He was born in October 1905. He died October in 1995, which he died 20 days before his 100th birthday.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So he was born 1905. Oh, no, 90th. You caught me.
Yeah, the
Yep, 90th birthday.
I was like, wait
20
a
days
minute.
before his 90th birthday. I can do math. It's fine.
Come do math at the museum.
And he is said to have had the claim to the first traveling dental office in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did it catch on in other parts of
It did.
Really?
Yeah. Like it got spread that he was doing this, and then more started to kind of pop up and use it. But he graduated from the University of Minnesota in 1934 and started his dental practice in Emmons. But then he soon kind of realized that he wanted to bring the dental service to rural parts of the county. And because, well, at the time, Freeborn County was hit pretty hard by the Great Depression.
Yeah.
So people couldn't really afford to drive to another town to get dental care. And he had a wife and a couple of kids, so he wanted to, kind of get out with his business and, supply and demand, I guess. But in 1936, he then convinced his classmate, Dr. Elmer Johnson, to take over the Emmons portion. And then he worked with an architect in Albert Lea called Leroy Gardner. It was Gaardner.
Sure.
And he designed a self-contained dental office to be mounted on the frame of a truck.
Wow.
So he not only did he come up with this new business concept, he actually designed the traveling office.
Right.
Wow.
He and an architect.
I caught Risha for a minute
right.
there.
It was constructed in Minneapolis, but completed in Albert Lea. Yeah, so he went to several freeboard towns in the late 1936. He went to several towns. And the office vehicle what it contained was a small waiting area, a compact laboratory, and a dental chair with attached equipment that they could use for examinations, teeth pulling, and fillings.
Huh.
Yeah.
Come on in my truck there.
Right. Let me pull your teeth.
See, just wait. I'm with somebody right now.
Right. And the only service he really couldn't provide was the X-ray. Which
Understandable.
Right. You can't.
Okay, can you imagine walking down the sidewalk and you're hearing dental noises?
Yeah, out of a truck. Yes, that was a good one. Yeah,
you'd be like, what?
So when he thought somebody needed X-ray, he told them to go to the Albert Lea Dental Clinic, which his father, Dr. Charles L. Blunt, was the dentist there. And he also helped his dad out on Saturdays, so he wasn't in the dental mobile on Saturdays.
Dental mobile. I like that.
It also had a gas heater to provide hot water, and what Blunt described as the first electrical air conditioner in the county.
Well, he's just full of firsts. Mm-hmm. I can't believe this isn't on our timeline.
I know.
We'll take care of getting that shit.
Right?
Yeah. And so he had to go places where electricity was available. And the Interstate Power Company supplied the electrical service from utility poles located on the main streets of the towns he visited.
So he would just go to whichever designated utility pole and just plug in?
Yep, exactly.
Nice.
Did he have to climb the pole to plug in?
No, I don't think so.
Because usually they don't. You wouldn't have it within.
Right, I think he collaborated with them to where he could get the designated one set to where he could just plug his truck right in.
That's pretty cool.
They probably knew ahead of time what days he's
which
going
is
to be
coming.
He had a specific schedule to where he would go to each town on a specific day.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
it's down to a science.
Yeah, the towns he went to were Freeborn, Hollandale, Conger, Myrtle, London. That was the furthest he went. Clark's Grove, Heartland, and Geneva. And so he did this on hot, humid days or Minnesota blizzards and temperatures below 36 degrees Fahrenheit, below zero,
Does it tell you how many days a week he was out doing this?
Oh, goodness. I think I do have that. I have to
I was just curious.
Really quick. I think it was at least 4, I want to say.
The magic 4.
Right, I know. I could just be thinking about yours
the
and just
bookmobile
kind of
deliveries?
putting it over there. I had it. Give me just a second here. No, I can't find it quickly.
I was just curious. That was doesn't really add to our story today. But.
I think it was actually. I think it might have been Monday through Friday, and then Saturday he worked at his dad's dental practice in Albert Lea.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's how it was. Yeah, but he had AC and he had heating. So he made it comfortable, I guess.
Hey, Doc, I'd like an appointment. Oh,
Right.
something wrong with your tooth? No, I just want the air conditioner.
Yeah. I just need a break.
It's really hot out there today.
Yeah. But he finally shut down the traveling portion of his dental services in 1943. So it ran for 7 years.
Interesting.
Yeah. And he shut down because of the gasoline and tire rationing that forced him to quit, and he sold it to a man in the Twin Cities.
For World War II?
For World War II. Yep, the gasoline and tire rationing. And one group was they had different groups that got certificates to allow them to get new tires and such, and he wasn't in that kind of group, but one group was allowed to get a certificate if they had vehicles with a capacity of 10 or more passengers for regular transportation of students, teachers, employees, or any mining or construction work. So the man he sold it to used the vehicle as a bus to carry workers from St. Paul to the Rosemount Arsenal.
I wonder if there's anybody around that remembers this.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
it's in the 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly possible.
Early 40s.
Just wondering if there's somebody hanging around here that actually went to see Dr. Blunt in his dentist mobile.
Oh my gosh. That would be really cool to hear what they would say about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we taking call-ins? Sorry.
Oh my
You can
gosh.
call the museum if you do remember.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be fun.
If you have any
But-
tips, direct them to the Freeborn County Historical
Yeah.
Museum.
Yeah. And he then purchased the practice from his dad and Albert Lee and retired in 1970. And something that I could not find, I kept reading about how one in an Ed Shannon article for the Tribune, and then also in an oral report that was an interview with Bidney Berge did with Blunt and his wife, talked about Hollywood coming in and filming a short movie in Conger about his dental practice.
We really need to find that.
I tried to Google it and I couldn't
Did you
find
ask?
it.
Did you ask the fabulous Linda
I
Evenson?
didn't ask her because it did say that he has it with his scrapbook.
We should
that
ask
Blunt
Linda.
has it, so we might have it, and I just didn't look far enough.
Well-
we'll be back with an update on
Yeah,
that
right.
one next episode if we find anything.
Maybe not next episode, but
But
down the
down the
road.
road, if we
Get
find
it?
something.
Road.
Yeah.
With
A lot of road travel today.
Oh no, wait! I'm sorry. I really have to give you this one because I thought you might find this interesting. One of his dental assistants, who may have helped in the making of this movie, was called Geraldine Lageson.
Geraldine Lageson. I have heard of Geraldine
Okay,
Lageson.
because I know you're a Lageson.
I'm a Lageson. Okay, family tree.
right?
It's funny that you say that because as you were talking about him doing the thing, doing the
dental
stops.
practice. Oh, yes.
And I was thinking, gosh, is there anybody around who has a story about this?
Yeah.
Carlisle Lageson was one that I had thought
Oh
of.
yeah,
Because he would have been kind of in that age and shipped out
yeah. He was World War II.
to World War II. Yeah. So that's really funny. The Lageson clan comes up once again. Interesting. I'm not sure how to segue here.
Oh, I don't
All
know.
of a sudden, I've hit a snag. So the other delivery thing that I thought was kind of cool.
Sure.
Did you know that Albert Lee had a corn cob pipe factory in 1894?
Did not know
sounds
that.
So weird.
It sounds really weird. I mean, I wish we could show pictures on the radio, which I know is not possible, or on our YouTube or on our podcast.
Sure.
But there's some really cool. There's different sizes. They would whittle the corn cobs into all these different sizes, various bowl sizes, is what they called them.
Oh yeah, because the tip is a
'cause-
bowl.
Yeah. But they delivered the cobs by carload.
Okay.
8 men were employed making the pipes. 3 girls labeled the pipes and packed them in boxes. The first carload of cobs, they averaged 7,200 pipes per day, earning 75 cents per day. The men, not the girls.
Of course not.
The men earned 75 cents per day.
Did the girls earn anything?
They didn't say.
Oh.
Surely they got paid something
Wow.
for
Probably
labeling
something,
Right?
but,
pipes. Yes.
Peanuts.
Where was this factory like located?
So the building was the old Olson and Anderson wagon shop, built of brick and was about 30 feet by 90 feet. It was known as the RK Manufacturing Company, and it says here located at the site of the present post office. So I'm going to assume that means our current post office here in Albert Lake.
Sure.
Because that's when the Irv Sorensen's Highlights and Shadows was done in 1960. 1960, I think, is what I'm seeing here. I also am now just looking at this little thing. It says, thanks to Catherine Claiborne for this material.
Oh,
We love Catherine Claiborne in the museum.
got a whole little scavenger hunt started for her.
Oh, my gosh. The machinery was purchased from a firm in Missouri, which had a monopoly on cobs suitable for making pipes.
Oh, wow.
A monopoly. The machinery consisted of a railroad boiler, engine, 4 lathes, drill press, and a varnishing machine.
Wow.
And Irv puts in his notes here, note to Elmco, they had a tumbler in which the bowls were put and polished from friction of tumbling together.
Ooh.
I don't get the Elmco tie-in, so I'm going to have to research that.
Yeah.
Do you get the Elmco
Well,
tie-in?
it like smoothed it all down, didn't it? Yeah. So they would work on them.
Elmco wouldn't have worked on them.
Well, why did he say Elmco?
I don't know. That's what I said. It says note to Elmco. So he's telling Elmco about it.
Oh, I thought it was notes saying that Elmco did it.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
No. The factory was a victim of a high-handed scheme of the monopoly.
Uh-oh.
What?
They supplied machinery, cobs, and the superintendent. He ruined all of the drills. Second carload of cobs was of poor quality. The third car was so poor that the output was less than a third of that from the first.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
so are they saying that when they monopolized, the quality just went down?
Yes.
Aw.
Handed under a high-handed scheme of the monopoly. So I'm guessing where they were buying the cobs from actually ruined them.
Aw.
Ruined their business.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
No.
That's really sad.
So we've had a bookmobile, a dentist mobile, and a corn cob mobile.
That should all be cartoons.
Oh, that would be a fun cartoon.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, so that first one, and I wonder, I suppose it's not in that article, but I wonder, was it 7,200 pipes that they made that
Per day.
Per day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
That's
average
a lot.
7,200 pipes per day. I wonder, how long does a corn cob pipe last?
Oh, that's a good question too. I don't actually know. I was gonna ask, is that something like, would there be that much of a demand just like in just Freeborn County, or was it getting shipped off to neighboring areas as like an attempt at being like a regional provider of?
I would assume it would have to be regional,
Right.
unless maybe you only get 5 uses out of a corn cob pipe.
Sure.
I don't know.
And so
I'd
you
have to
have
ask
to
my
buy a
grandpa
lot
about
at
that
once.
one.
Does he do corn cob pipes?
I don't know. Well, I remember when I was a kid, it was during harvest one year, and I picked up a couple of cobs off the field or whatever, and he's like, "You can make pipes out of that," and I'm like, "What are you going on about?" And he didn't like show me a whole lot, but he had like a pocket knife and he carved some pieces out, and I was like, I didn't really know what smoking was at the time, so I'm just like, what is he talking about? Why do people do this? And of course I now understand, but
I bet he actually smoked out of a corn cob pipe at some point.
he probably
Just
has.
that he knew how to. You have to ask him.
I will ask him
funny.
next time I see him.
Huh. Okay, we've got assignments. Geraldine Lageson, corn cob pipe.
Yeah,
What's your assignment?
the looking more into the.
Oh, yes, the movie, the Hollywood movie.
That's right. So we've each got an assignment.
There we go.
All right.
Well, speaking of corn cobs, I guess whose turn is it for popcorn this week?
I think
Corn popcorn.
I'm guessing it's Risha's
Here you go, Risha.
since she's grabbing the bowl.
Mine.